What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar. You guys really seemed to enjoy the last video I did on leaks where I looked back at the Grinch leak, and so this time I thought it would be fun to look back at a leak that ended up being completely legitimate and also the biggest leak that we have ever had in Smash Bros history that ended up being true. The famous ESRB leak. This is a leak that happened back for Smash for 3DS, and the Smash community has since exploded in size since that game came out. With how massive the community has become, a ton of you probably weren't around when this leak was first at its prominence before we actually knew whether it was real or fake. And so that's why I thought that today it would be very cool to look back at it, because aside from the Grinch leak, this is probably the biggest leak that we've ever had, but this is one that actually ended up being a true leak rather than just a hoax. So as the name suggests, the ESRB leak was a leak that came from the Entertainment Software Rating Board, which is the organization that determines game ratings in North America. In order to accurately rate the games, the ESRB is typically sent advanced copies, and this internal copy of Smash for 3DS happened to be leaked by an insider with several images and different footage several weeks before the game was set to launch worldwide. So let's take a look at everything that was leaked from the ESRB leak. By the way, if you have not yet, please be sure to subscribe. I am less than 5,000 subscribers away from 200,000. That means I'm really close to my goal of hitting it before the end of the year. So if you have not subscribed, please hit that button. So just like tons of other leaks, both real and fake, this leak started on 4chan. This was a basic text post leak that of course had very little credibility, as they do. There was just nothing to back it up, no images or footage, it was just a random claim. But this text post claimed a lot. It claimed that Snake, Lucas, Ice Climbers, and Wolf were cut, that Dr. Mario and Dark Pit were clones, that each character would get 8 costumes, that Alf would be a part of Olimar's costumes, and that Shulk, Bowser Jr., and Duck Hunt would be newcomers, as well as detailing specifics about their movesets. And as we've seen in the past, text posts like this largely get ignored. They're fun for discussion, but most of the time they are found to be wrong. But we of course have the benefit of hindsight here, so we can tell that everything they said in this post was true. On August 19th, 2014, a 4chan user made a casual post with all of the confirmed characters for Smash 4, both new and returning, and they asked who others thought would get cut. A second anonymous user responded to this thread with an updated version of the original poster's image. It had red X's all over the non-returning characters, a question mark over Mewtwo, and previously unseen renders for Jigglypuff, Ness, Dr. Mario, Mr. Game & Watch, Wario, and Rob. On top of this, they added 4 new icons at the end for unrevealed newcomers: Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt, Dark Pit, and Shulk. This graphic immediately got people's attention because of the seemingly brand new images that were used, suggesting that the poster had insider information. A user named Motherfucking Leaker followed up in that thread with 2 additional images, one of it showing a larger scale image of Duck Hunt and revealing that he would have the duck alongside him. This image also showed Ness's render, previously unseen. The second image was a picture of the 3DS with the full roster. After this, a third account then posted further images, including Shulk and Dr. Mario's renders, the stage select screen, the customs menu, and another image of the full roster, this time with both screens, confirming that Bowser Jr. would indeed use his clown car. You can see in these images that the 3DS's name was also visible as ESRB 0083, implying a connection to the ESRB and thus where this leak gets its name from. But as with all leaks, things were immediately questioned about these images despite the sheer amount of images that were posted. The first seemingly red flag was that the names of the characters were not underneath the icons for the roster in the leaked image. Now at the time, this directly contradicted images that we had seen at E3, where the names of the characters were underneath their images. Many people also found some of the choices for characters odd, such as Bowser Jr. and Duck Hunt. They also found the arrangement of the character select screen icons strange and inconsistent, particularly with the bottom 2 rows, but also with characters not belonging where they should. Additionally, Ness's previously unseen render was compared to past renders from both Smash and Earthbound, and many people drew issue with it. In every Smash game prior, as well as in Earthbound, Ness has a very specific number of stripes on both his shirt and his sleeves, and has a very specific curve in his shirt, being consistent in both. However, based on this leak, the render did not include the shirt curve, and the number of stripes on the shirt was now no longer consistent, which goes against every Smash game prior as well as Earthbound, and it was used as evidence that this was a well-made leak, but it simply missed the mark on some of the details. But this was by no means the only nitpick. A ton of stuff was called into question. Wario's image on the character select screen was questioned as not being genuine, rather being taken from a cutscene in Brawl's Subspace Emissary mode. People claim that this was simply photoshopped and that they were relying on the low resolution of the 3DS paired with the poor detail in the camera image to cover up any potential flaws. Dr. Mario's render was also called into question, and it was accused of being an edit of a popular fan render simply tweaked to look a little bit more legitimate because the pose is very, very similar. Bowser Jr. and Dark Pit were also in similar situations, as old images for both could be found that easily could have been repurposed for a fake leak. But of course, the most infamous line is regarding Shulk. A ton of people saw Shulk and they drew issue with it, and a rather famous image now compares an in-game screenshot of Little Mac to the Shulk render that's used for the game. Many people believe Shulk was just a photoshopped Little Mac due to their faces being in the same alignment and having similar facial features. Once Shulk was proven to be in the game, however, people started to mock this line, and it has since become just a huge Smash meme, even being mentioned now when we're talking about Smash Ultimate leaks. The 4chan thread with all of this information and all of these images eventually closed down, but a user named MasterLinkX followed this up by posting on GameFAQs with 3 more images. The first image was of Charizard and Lucina fighting the then unconfirmed characters Ganondorf and Shulk on Yoshi's Island. The second showed Shulk's render on the victory screen, and the third was a clearer image of Shulk's victory screen, showing his victory pose and his model up close. Despite us knowing now that all of these images were real, it seems very weird, but MasterLinkX claimed to have photoshopped those images, and at the time it was believed that the leak was simply an elaborate hoax. However, this leak became relevant again thanks to Famitsu. The Tomodachi Life stage, which had already been officially revealed, was shown on the stage select screen, and in the icon there had been a then unseen room. In the Famitsu screenshot, this same room was shown based on furniture layout and color scheme, but it was in a slightly different angle. People believe that because the angles were so different, these had to be 2 unique photos rather than somebody who had early access to the Famitsu picture, and so it proved that they couldn't be the same image, and it strongly suggested that everything that was posted in that leak was legitimate. But then all hell broke loose when a YouTube user named IsThatTrue posted multiple videos of early access footage of the game. And this is where a majority of people began to believe that this leak was real, because people are far less skeptical of full video than they are of basic images, because those can be easily photoshopped. The previous images that had been posted of matches with Lucina, Shulk, Ganondorf, and Charizard had now been posted in video form, very much swaying people towards the leak being legitimate. Another match was posted of Bowser Jr., Bowser, Kirby, and Pikachu battling on Battlefield. However, very soon after these were posted, Nintendo of America struck them down and removed them from YouTube entirely, which threw even more suspicion into the mix. If this was simply a rumor or straight up fake or somebody's clever mod, Nintendo wouldn't really care about it being up, which suggested that it was completely real and that they were suppressing an actual leak of the game. But of course, this is the internet, so the video was immediately downloaded, and we still have it to this day. Lastly, an Imager album was uploaded later that day, showing off different menus, classic mode screenshots, and trophies. Comparing these images to some of Sakurai's pick of the day images that included menus and stuff like that, these matched up very, very closely, and Shulk himself was of course revealed in a later Nintendo Direct, with everything that was shown in the videos, screenshots, and text posts being completely accurate. And that's pretty much where this leak ends. We got a ton of information out of it, and while people were skeptical of it all the way through, as soon as Shulk was revealed, pretty much everyone was content with the fact that this leak was indeed real. And for those who were the minority of skeptics, once the game actually came out, or at least it got leaked and people started doing footage that way, and we saw the full roster come out, they had to accept that this was real, because everything that was said in these leaks ended up being true. Tomodachi Life's furniture placement, the fact that Shulk, Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt were all characters that were actually in the game and not just made up by some 4chan person. Like, literally everything that was said ended up being correct, and that is presumably because this actually did come from an insider from the ESRB. I guess it is possible that the person wasn't actually affiliated with the ESRB, but maybe they simply wanted people to take their leak legitimately and seriously, and so they thought maybe by making that the name that it would give them a bit more credibility. But there is also the possibility, and probably the reality, that this person actually did simply work for the ESRB and was simply taking pictures very discreetly. But yeah, that is pretty much the whole leak. The only other thing that I could think to mention is, of course, the Tharja trophy. And that situation is that there was a trophy of Tharja from Fire Emblem, and she was very scantily clad. Her clothing was rather revealing, and either the ESRB or one of the other ratings boards throughout the world had an issue with this, thought it wasn't appropriate, and so they wanted it removed, I guess, because we have images of it being on this leak. But when the final game actually came out, it was seemingly patched out because there was exactly one less trophy than the ESRB leak showed us, and so the only one that was missing was Tharja, and so that just sort of added retroactive credibility to this leak, even though we knew it ended up being real in the first place. And that is the full leak. We're actually 5 years, over 5 years since this leak happened, and a lot can happen in 5 years. And like I said, the Smash community has exploded because Smash 4 did wonders for Smash's popularity, so a lot of people probably didn't even know about these leaks when they were happening, or that they even did happen. So that's why I made this video. I thought it would be really cool to look back and give people who didn't have that opportunity to sort of follow the news cycle, give them, you know, a look into what we were experiencing back when Smash for 3DS and Wii U were still in development. And that does it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Maybe I'll do another retrospective or looking back at another leak for, you know, another game, maybe Brawl or Melee, or another one for Smash 4 or Ultimate. Who knows? There's a lot of leaks out there. So that is everything for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Have an awesome day.